I got two new box sets on my porch this week, and I couldn't be more happy. Both artists are legends in their own genre, and both have curious vocal mannerisms. I didn't plan this. I got the Keith Jarrett at the Deer Head Inn, pre-ordered it a few months ago. It's a new release, just came out. Well, it's an old I'll get into it. It's a reissue. And the Bob Wills I found for $70. And it dawned on me, wow, both these guys have vocal tics, and this is completely unplanned. Bob Wills pioneered and popularized Western swing, and Keith Jarrett was a highly influential and genre-defying jazz pianist. So now you see why I have no time to watch TV. Papa's Jumpin', Bob Wills, the MGM years. This is 47 to 54, and this box set was put together and released in 1985. Western swing is a lively offshoot of country that mixes jazz and blues into a vibrant, fun party, and Wills played violin or fiddle and was the band leader, and his band incorporated horns, steel guitar, drums, which was kind of unconventional for early country at the time, into a swinging, danceable stew. Here's the rub, though. He would yell, "Aw yeah," or "Aha" in the middle of songs. You know, and it doesn't sound bad, but when you're listening to a box set like this of 5 albums, practically every song's got "aha" on it, and after a while you wonder why anybody didn't tell him to like can it, or just, you know, like save it for every other song. But he's great, so you put up with it. Ida Red, his song Ida Red heavily influenced Chuck Berry's first hit Maybelline. Check it out. And his focus on rhythm and amplified guitars anticipated rock and roll. So listen, there's going to be some ahas here and there, and you just deal with it. Now, another pioneer of Western swing who doesn't have ahas, Milton Brown and his Brownies. There are 2 albums that I have here in my collection of Milton Brown, if you want to explore that. It's a great Western swing minus the aha. But I think when talking about Bob Wills, I have to mention Billy Jack Wills, his younger brother. Holy cow, these records just smoke. The younger brother means, I guess, was a little more influenced by rockabilly and early rock and roll, and you could tell these are jumping and sizzling, and there's no vocal mannerisms. Not discounting Bob Wills at all, but if you get into Bob Wills, check out Billy Jack Wills. These are relatively easy to find online. You'll never find them in stores. Keith Jarrett, he started playing with Art Blakey and Miles Davis, and he's a legend in jazz. Effortlessly blended jazz, gospel, and blues with classical music into a sound that was sophisticated yet accessible. His 16th album, The Colon Concert, came out in 1975, was the best-selling solo, and still is, best-selling solo piano album of all time. It's celebrated for Jarrett's performance, where he created a complex, seamless musical narrative in the moment, showcasing both technical skill and great creativity. By the 90s, the Keith Jarrett, and this is what this is from. This was from 93. It was actually 2 albums. This was, it's not really helping me here. Oh, this says 94, and I think this was 95. Old Country. Both are recorded from the same venue, the same performance. So by the 90s, the Keith Jarrett Trio set the standard for piano trios, creating a seamless unit where the 3 musicians listened to each other and had intense interactions. The trio often performed without arrangements or song lists, allowing for each concert to kind of take shape organically. Keith's a badass. It's impressive, but here's the rub. His vocal mannerisms included involuntary or sometimes deliberate humming, grunting, squealing sounds that may or may not be present for the entire performance. These have been described as part of his deeply intuitive improvisational process, in which he believes helps him to enter a flow state, as to create music from instinct rather than conscious thought. So he's got that going for him. Apparently the Deer Head Inn, this came out in 93. 30 years prior, the Deer Head Inn was home to one of his first serious jazz concerts when he was a young guy. So 30 years later, it's come full circle, and in the early 90s did put out 2 records of his night at the Deer Head Inn with Gary Peacock on bass, Paul Motion on drums, and boy, it doesn't get any better than that. And you know, speaking of Colon Concert, if you want to hear what all the fuss was about, you probably have Colon Concert. Everybody had it. But to take it a step further, the Sun Bear concerts, solo piano concerts from Japan, it's a 10-record set. It's probably a 100-year record. You're going to go a long time without finding this, so you probably have to order it online. I got this, and this came out in '78, so not long after the Cologne concerts, and I found this at a record store that's now closed in Summit, Scotty's, and it was only like 120 bucks for a 10-record set in reasonably good condition, considering it's been moved around, I'm assuming, a few times since 1978. So anyway, that's it. Thank you.